I never noticed a very slight throat singing in the background of that. Okay, yeah, yeah. So I can jump onto that. I'm sure they taught me some new stuff. Oh, hello. Sick. Right, so fuck it. Is that what I wanted? Alright. Fair. Oh, because I was meant to jump onto I was actually meant to jump down onto that side, not just jump like I had. Okay. Line it up. Nice little run. One more for good measure. And we're good. Oh shit, no. See what happened is I pressed B, which is drop.
Have to find a way across.
I'm not actually sure why I pressed that, but you live and you learn. Unless you're Lara Croft, and then you have loads of clones. Maybe we'll do one more like there, like this time. There we go. Easy. What are you saying? Okay. Oh, is this parody? Is this a cutscene?
Look at all this.
Probably. I think so.
Behind that door.
Another door. Oh, okay, fair enough. Jump into the water in a spooky cave, why not? Let's get the fuck out of there. My controller's vibrating for some reason. I assume it's because someone's trying to eat my feet. Alright, let's go see this door that she seems to fucking love so much. Jesus. It's just a door.
E-shell and shack shell protecting the box.
Okay. Can I climb though? That's the... No? Alright. Eagle vision. There's loads of stuff over there, so I'm guessing I need to go over there. Oh, there's a little thing down here, alright. And this is water, I believe? Alright, sweet. Oh! Zombie time. I should have known when it made me pull out my,
Impossible.
made me pull out my shotty. I mean, is this... Oh, hello. That's bad for me, isn't it? Okay. Oh, fucking hell. That made me jump. Shit. Motherfuckers. I knew it was way too goddamn quiet. Well, I can hear your screams from everywhere. Could you at least line up, please? It's very stressful. I don't know if they know they're making it more stressful. There's going to be more. It's too dark over there for there not to be more.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
Why is there so much ammo over here? I'm going to have a bit of a fight, I'm sure. Oh. They're not having the best of times, clearly.
Have to get the water flowing to the
That's
wheel.
what you sound like. Okay. Oh. Did I do it right? I don't think I did, you know. Maybe I did. Probably didn't. I think I got to turn this one first. Oh, no, no, no. I think we might be right, you know. Although, something just screamed. Which isn't very nice of them. I feel like I got to move that one. Oh, yeah, up there is a thingy-mabobby. Oh, we can't get to that one? What if I set it on fire? Does that work? No. No, that's just losing arrows. So, I need to, like, break that? Oh, there's a line right there. Can I climb up here? I feel like I'm probably meant to cut that wire, so maybe I need to get higher? Maybe there's something over there as soon as I was allowed to Smash that. Maybe not.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
I know what we have to do, it's just I struggle to do it. Can I set that on fire? I'm wasting precious bows here. Precious fire bows.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
I feel there's going to be a big
Have to
fight
get the
scene and
water
it's going to be...
flowing to the wheel.
I know what I need to do, god damn. But I don't know how to cut that. I mean... Actually, let's waste a gun bullet. There is a zoom in, alright. God damn. Man, trying to aim with a controller is weird. Nope. Shotgun gone booyah.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
Oh, that's not what I was hoping to find out how to stop crouching, but I think she just does it when she fancies it. Maybe I... Oh, I am going this way. Leave it out. You smoking crack or something? We can jump up here. Nope. We can't. Try that again. So I heard the like creeper dude. I swear I had a white marking on the wall. Maybe it's just white. I'm gonna grab
Have
something
to get
over
the
here.
water flowing to the wheel.
Shoot that. What you got for me? I feel like I should be climbing something right now. Maybe that? Nope. Oh, maybe I meant to just, I see, I see. Well done, Laura. Nicely done. That's exactly what we needed. So maybe there's something else like that I'm missing.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
Should I state the obvious? Jeez. Well, I've opened up the reservoir for whatever reason. I feel like it's all going the right way, I just need to move that top one. Who'd have thought this puzzle game so puzzling? Let's get the shotty back out, just in case. I mean, maybe I'm just going to jump over there. It is a little white marker. Nope. Oh, fucking hell. Maybe I'm meant to go for a swim. Maybe I'll have a look at the actual wheel. No? Oh, no, I can go down as well, can't I? That's just a shortcut if I, for some reason, go back. The real question is... Oh, no! I can't climb them, can I? I was hoping I could climb up there. That would make life a lot easier.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
Huh. I feel like she should be able to jump up that, really. Okay. Back here. Maybe I need to... It looks green. I thought it's worth shooting if it's green, right? Meanie greenie, that's what they call it. Maybe I can get up here? No? No. Oh, maybe I meant to have not moved that thing completely round. Let me try removing one of them. I do have to remember sometimes I might have just made errors. That's probably the case. Damn it. I was hoping it'd just swing back round naturally. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Okay, let's see how far we can get around on that. Get the shotty back out in case some zombinis come at us. Alright, sweet as a nut. No, don't reload your gun, do this. Lara! Goddamn Lara. Oh, shit, zombinis. Have I been this way? No, but it's not near. Okie dokie. So now we should be able to move with that. Alright, swan dive. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I did everything wrong there, but it survived. I thought I was swan diving, then I didn't realise I was on a zip line, and, luckily I managed to roll out of it. Oh, damn. Oh, actually, let's, start at the top, boy. No, come this way, birdie.
Now I'm getting somewhere.
I know. Oh, there's a zombie climbing up the wall.
This'll do. Almost done.
There's another zombie up there. I think the zombies are realising their front door's open. And they really do value their privacy quite heavily. See? Oh, zombie descent master. Whatever you want to call it. Oh shit, hello mate. No, could you not? Oh, fucking hell, you hit me hard there. How do I melee? Oh, fuck it. Could you fuck off? How the fuck do you melee? I thought it was just X. I guess it's not X. B's dip and dive. Y is melee, righto. Shit. Right, can we all just be buddies now? Whoa! Let's just get gone. Whoa! Yeah, that was the best idea. Yeah, why fight descent mutant zombies when you can just go to this front door you've been after?
2 doors, of course.
Told you there'd be 2 doors! What did I say? I said there'd be 2 fucking doors. There's always a door behind a door. Now what do I gotta do? She seemed pretty chill about that, but... Is there a way to knock? Hmm. Where are they? Oh, this one. Oh, he's coming at me. Oh. Fuck it. Shotgun's so long range on this, why would I bother with the bow and arrow at this point? Where are you, little nerd? I know there was another one. Oh, I never noticed that before. Respected? Oh, just because I pulled an effigy down. Alright. Any more effigies? How you all doing? You want to be de-effigized? That's what the kids are calling it today. So they said the other door. Oh, I've got to go do something down there. Okay. Alright. Whee! Well, let's maybe get some oxygen before I decide what I'm going to do down there. Alright, there's a go. Ah, I think I've got to go through the... Ah, I see. Kind of. Okay. Right, so we just got to do the exact same thing over this side, I guess. Right. It's not like one Misty over here. Jeez. Creepy little soundtrack in the background too. What? Get out, mate. Oh shit. Oh, I've got a bit of an arrow through my head, you know? Yeah, bitches, bullets. And what? Super loud though, right? I just want to show off with your bullets much. These nerds should have done some research. I mean, they sound like they have really bad throat problems. Oh, hello. Oh. Ah, please go away. Thank you. How do I change shoulder? Because I keep doing it by accident and I don't want to. Okay. We're probably more than likely perfectly safe now.
Good. This is promising. It won't turn.
That's just not as far as we need it to. Have to do something about this then, aren't we, Lara? This gargling sounds disconcerting. Thank you. Probably gonna have to go in the water, but we may as well have a look what's around here. If not just for the inevitable jump scare. Okay.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
Yeah, no shit. Okay.
Have to get the water flowing to the wheel.
There we go, lovely jubbly. Could you get the gun out, please, Lara? Thank you. Nerds! Oh, hello. You're getting a bit spicy, aren't you, mate? Oh, fuck you. Who did that? And please don't do it again. Maybe I should just use a different gun for him. Are we quite done? don't like the sounds that I can just hear continuously. Are there still more around? I'd rather just murder them, please. I genuinely don't know if they're gonna get me or if they're just making, like, background noise at this point. Little shits. Oh, there we go. Oh, Schmeagle. Oh, shit. Oh, flock of Schmeagles. Good band name there. Hey, Mojo baby! How you doing, my man? Hey, man. My ass is a bit turkey-like, but there's nothing much I can do about it. Oh. The descent creature. Oh, hello. The descent creatures have got some lady with blood and literal clothing on. Ooh, look at that grill. What's up your nose?
They didn't enter.
Something worse in here. Fuck. And how's the PC building and desk room cleaning coming along, my man? Oh shit, vandalism. Look, all just graffiti. Disgusting.
These figures, they look like those creatures, but they're graceful. Yashil, goddesses of protection. The silver box of Ishal was forged in paradise and brought to earth.
Sweet. Gang man, I'd love this, but mostly because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Fair. Got them sorted eventually, nice. But if you have any more, at least I'm live now, so you can at least ask them on the fly.
Be allowed to pass.
Yeah, no, you just got like a million downloads to do. You got some like serious like SSD and like hard drive space, man. So you'll be able to get a fuckload of games on your system.
It has to be here.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I wonder what a rent's like for a place like this.
An eclipse and a heron.
Can't imagine it has heating or electricity.
Ratu's arm. Where's the box?
Get 'em. It's not there, Laura. Dummy. Download in Valhalla. Fucking A. Was going to play Cyberpunk first, but I'm on the couch until Wednesday, so I'm going to use controller. Fair. Oh, that's why you're asking mouse and controller. And keyboard question. Yeah, right. Yeah, see, I mean, I think you can play, like, either way. Like, I've definitely played some Assassin's Creed with mouse and keyboard. But, this is getting a bit weird. But yeah, I would say it's a good shout. Assassin's Creed mouse, keep controller even. Cyberpunk mouse and keyboard for the shooting and shit. Might take a while to get used to mouse and keyboard shooting as well, but it's good fun. Crash Bandicoot level, let's go. Ow. It is just a Crash Bandicoot level, right? I'm not actually meant to be fighting them. Keep going, Lara. Crash Bandicoot level. Keep going, Lara. Crash Bandicoots. This way? I don't rightly know. There's a lot of these descent fuckers down here, man. Ow! Right in the fucking arm. Oh, Laura, where are we going, girl? Fart grenades. They're well unhappy. Alright. Let me just read what you're writing very quickly. Fucking hell. Storage was a must, yeah, for sure. Probably because more hard drives too. I need to get another one myself, really. From years to get used to it. Yeah. Yeah, it has taken me a long time, and I'm not that good, but played Fall Guys to test out 165 frames per second. Was like, well, yeah, right. Super crazy different, especially coming from console. Oh, he hadn't even enabled it on GFX, so like, and you've shown 100 survival, it was capped at 60. But that's still probably better than like console. Need another go now that it's at proper G-Sync. Yeah, sick. Yeah, I think everyone's pretty much done that. Didn't plug it into the graphics card properly or whatnot, or yeah, didn't enable it. Have you, made sure you enable it on your screen as well. You usually have to go into like display settings or something and make sure you set your monitor to the right hertz as well, so otherwise it won't show. And you had to have the Bluetooth headset for ages. Damn. Oh shit, they are still shooting me. Question is, can these fuckers swim? I ain't sticking around to find out. Oh, in the city, nice. Honestly though, the Airbnb reviews did not mention how much of an arse it is to get to the actual listing.
I made it.
Bastards. The screen updated automatically. Nice. Spent ages looking for a way to enable FreeSync on 165 Hz, but there was no way. Then you updated it on NVIDIA CPU and a month to change too. Fucking A, you boy. Welcome to the PC Master Race, my man.
Impossible.
You're
I can't carry
impossible,
more.
Lara. You can't carry more gold. You know? What's wrong with you? Nope. It's probably not the best way to find out how deep something is or where you're meant to go, but... Loads of games already probably downloading all night for sure, man. Yeah, there's going to be a million games to try as well.
I made it.
I mean, it's going to look beastly. Anything you play, shit like Red Dead will look fucking gorgeous, I'm sure. I'm feeling more snubbly cuntish already. Yeah, there you go. That's the spirit. You want to embrace it, man. We're part of the elite gamers now. Is that really where we've got to jump from, Lara? Oh, Jesus. Oh, you landed on 1 foot too. She's pretty badass. Oh, cool. You just squeeze through. Careful. This dress is DLC. Get wrecked.
I can use these to climb out of here.
New shoes. Sick. Oh man, right? So many fucking launchers. It's insane. It's hard to keep up. The thing is though, like, the vast majority of them get forgotten until I've bought the game through Steam and it makes me load it up on their launcher anyway at the same time. And I'm like, oh shit, it's one of those, is it? But I never check the other pages, like Uplay or whatever. I never check that or anything really. Yeah, there's nothing else I can nick of him. Really? Alright. Is this where I was meant to go? Probably not, no. Oh no, these can help me get out of the cave. I've got to go up there. I should have stayed there, shouldn't I, really? I think. Yeah. But she didn't die. It was raging because Val was down so slow, forgot to... oh, Joe Gate was down there so fast in the background. Oh, right. Well, the other side is, there is still, like, there's definitely some game launchers that will, like, play a lot quicker than others. Like, I can't remember what it is, but there's some. I think Rockstar might be one of them. Just takes fucking forever to download. Okay. Maybe I was meant to jump down, you know. I think I was meant to keep climbing that, you know. Ah, here we go. Nice. Oh yeah, this isn't jarring on the mines. I don't know where directionally this feels weird. Oh. Jesus fuck. Okay. If I get Rockstar for free day launcher and you have it through Steam, we can still get down online. I believe so, yeah, I think so, because I think I still have to log in through the Rockstar social in order for that to happen, basically. Yeah, some are easier than others for sure in regards to like getting a game running and inviting your friends. Steam's the best by a long shout. Windows games are the most pain in the ass ones for sure though. Alright, okay. Oh lordy. This place is very difficult to get in. I feel like maybe we should be honouring it and just leave them be. They clearly don't want guests. That didn't work. That's... This girl's arm strength is insane. Right, just gotta jump across a crevice. Huh. Sounds dangerous. Okay. Hey, I need baby. How you doing, my man? What kind of grade bobber would you be if you just left? That's very true, yeah. Nice. I think I've got a good 40 games now. Went Malware. Damn, spending all your money because that wait was torture. Dude, honestly, there's like, you'll probably still keep getting more and more games during that time before you play them. And just be like, constantly buying new games that you'll hope you'll buy one day. But how are you doing, Island Dude? And congrats on another win, another league win. And for your actual team to not be relegated. Borderlands, oh yeah, Borderlands 3 is free on Epic. Damn good game too. Oh no, I've got to go this way. She really doesn't care about the mess she's making at all. Even some like Descent mutant zombie ninjas tried to stop her coming in here.
Jump. There's no other way.
Whee! Yeah, it's not our fault that he's actually a football manager in real life. I reckon he just like manages like a League 2 team or something. My house. Endangered my ass. Okay. Now I can sleep. Oh, I am meant to go through here. Alright, cool. I know it's Open Bus Parade is booked in for next weekend. Damn, fair, nice, nice. Hope we have a nice trip around the city. I haven't even logged into my thing for so long. Next season I'm gonna win it for sure. Oh, isn't this nice? Need to steal some petrol first. Oh yeah, shit, yeah. Open bus tour. Petrol cost these days. You're having a laugh. She could do with an air bubble, you know. Oh, there's one. Don't die, Lara. Don't die. There you go. See, now you're breathing. Now I don't know where we're going. Oh, here, I guess. There's gonna be a barracuda through here, I'm sure of it. We're here, Lara. We're here. Probably. Grand reveal, let's go. Her archaeological equipment is very dubious at best. Oh shit, there's people in there. Okay.
Whatever those things are,
Hey, story time.
doesn't really matter while they're chasing you. Who left those carvings of the heron in the eclipse?
Your mum.
I have to talk to Unuratu about them.
Damage from enemies after a short period. Incapacitate unarmored enemies with a counter-attack after dodging. I never dodge. Outfits. I don't really care about the focus stuff as much, really. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about any of those. While on the branch, use rope and arrow to... Oh yeah, that might be a good one. Haven't used that in a while though. Haven't needed to. But maybe that one at the moment? Guns are not toys, Lara. Put that away, right? Yeah, I know. Put it back in the bag. That one just unlocks your ability to buy a better bag. That's a bullshit one. Give me the better bag. I don't care about the animals. Okay. Choose that one for now then. Well, so now we're in the hidden city. Maybe we should change our clothing up. Okay, so I can do a single upgrade. Let's... Oh no, both those can upgrade. Alright, let's do that. That's all you get. Okay, so... I like the stats we get off this costume, but... Oh wait, or is this a new costume? Or did I accidentally put the blue costume on? So there's a official queen and his family line. Many rebels wear the blue and spot of the rebellion. Our family's much for. Enables interaction with rebels. Ah, okay, maybe I have to wear it because I'm in the rebel area. Okay, it makes sense. Hi rebel, look at me. I'm family. Because I wear blue. How do you do? Oh, is that a feather? Don't mind if I do. Get away, kids. Skin merchants about today. It's a nice little spot. Not allowed to pull my weapons out though, so what's up with that? Yeah, mate.
A little advice.
Sure.
Stay out of
Hey,
the
they
weapons.
speak English? Sick.
Something dangerous prowls out there.
Yep, no
This is as
fucking
near as
shit,
I
dude.
will go. And even then, I make sure not to keep my back to the jungle for too long at a time.
It's just a tiger. Get over it. Sacre bleu! But yeah, guys, Premier League is over now for another season. Sad times.
Impossible. I can't carry anymore.
I'm really hoping that West Ham sign players this window, preferably a striker. I think they've had their fun with us now for only having one striker for like 2 seasons, including European football.
Father, come quick.
I am not your father.
What do you want? We don't have time for Unuratu's rebellion right now.
Oh yeah, you were 2-0 down, right? 2-0 down in what, the last like few minutes. You got 3-2.
Call to the future?
Fucking hell, man.
Look at the good.
Well, I didn't watch the last West Ham match. We needed United to lose and us to either draw or win to get Europa League rather than Europa Conference. United lost. We were 1-0 up when I first checked. Lost 3-1. Motherfuckers. But we still get conference. The Europa Conference. So that's something. You know, I'm still happy with that.
That's terrible. Let me see if I can find your
May as
brother
well,
and get
man. I
the herbs you
mean,
need.
to be fair, everybody's got more goals pretty much than Antonio this season. I think Bowen got like 12. Panorama didn't do too bad. I didn't listen to what that nerd wanted. But I assume it's just this green stuff over here.
Did you hear about Kwali? No.
I heard about it all.
Excuse me.
Ah, Ishiki. How can I help you?
I'm looking for Kuali, the son of Kabil.
That poor boy.
Went up Steam after going gold crazy for like 1
one
month.
of
Yeah, he
Kukulkan's
really did.
thugs, is
Well, he was
holding
playing
him in a
for
cell
West
up at
Ham
the
in obviously the
market,
league,
waiting for the
two
Ahau to come to
two
punish
domestic
him.
cups,
Thank you.
European League, Europa League. He was also playing for Jamaica, and he didn't have any backup. I mean, it's still a wonder we did so well with the fact that we had like no cover whatsoever. But they have to sign somebody this time. It's ridiculous now. Can I pet you?
Beautiful.
There we go. Oh, cute. I'm playing for Jamaica. We're quite a serious effort. But hey, just more games to play in it. Seen that keep lying on the floor before now, really. So but City did it right, and they don't even have one striker. That's, I mean, that's the point. What do you want, nerd?
It can't be an illusion.
Okay.
It has to be those children.
No, you said it can't be an illusion. What's this about? Why have these guys got a pull? What's up? Why's these people got an underground pool? Oh shit. I'm super far away from where I wanted to be there. Oh, campfire. Let's get warm. I'm warm. And it takes when you get. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, you are getting harder, aren't you?
Can't carry anymore.
Yeah, to be fair, that'd be quite a buy. Missing gear, motherfucker. Go on, Nora, steal. She just can't help herself. You're literally in their village. There's even a tomb. You're just stealing. And what? Yeah, you keep walking.
All full up. Can't carry anymore.
What are you selling?
I don't recognize you. What are you doing here? Where did
Holiday?
you get that tunic?
Holiday? In
It
a
was
different
given
place?
to me by Unuratu.
Oh, you are the queen's guest? I meant no offense.
Maybe Pepe didn't get
Yes,
much of a
you
tune
must
out of
forgive
Slatan
me.
when he had him. True.
It's all right. Don't worry.
True.
How may I help
But
you?
Harlan does seem pretty next level. I mean, Slatan did at the time as well. Natural man. Maybe I should buy a new satchel. It's just so much money. What's this? Cloth. Do I need this shit to upgrade and stuff? Yeah, it says used to craft stuff. Alright, I'll buy that off you. Give me
The
it.
gods favor us both.
Fuck you.
Thank you, Ishiki.
The prices you're charging. You ain't getting into no holy house, woman. I should have gone to that merchant. I bet he did way better prices. Didn't even know there was options. What do you want?
I know Pisco took my dice. I hope you can get them back.
Wait, am I back here? Or is this... What? Is this where I was before? Why did it take me so long to get back in here?
Laura, if you can hear me,
I'm here.
we're not at Unuratu's.
Clashes with big
We're in a cave
egos.
nearby.
Such would never fit your
The
dressing room.
entrance is marked with a heron and
Yeah, he's like 6'5" or
On my
so.
way.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear a whale. Shouldn't whale noises mean I'm close? Yeah, see? Oh, I know. Might as well take some of this. Have it. Go, mate. Just gonna go through this crack, don't mind me. close the lid of my tea. And that time I just spilt it down me.
Maybe they could provide support. Do you have it?
It was a trap. The box was taken and Unuratu was captured.
We heard. We're working on a plan.
How did I hear?
She's being held at the prison by the old temple. Akan led a raid and was taken too.
Oh.
Charge the bridge that leads to the prison.
It's aggressive. What if I climb up here, free her, and then signal to attack?
That could work. Let's leave scouting the temple in the upper district. You can find your way in.
I'll go talk to him.
We'll have backup ready once you get her out.
Sounds good.
For strength and safety.
Oh, sick. We got a new outfit.
Thank
Look
you.
at the feathers on it. Oh, look at the skull on it. That's pretty cool. What?
I'll get her out.
You don't know if that was his question? It might have been like, you're a thief, just steal me something cool. Because after all of this bullshit, you know they want to make bank after it. Oh, yeah. Look at me now.
Believe that. The great Sinchichika and the shield of the Age Maker.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Listen to yourself. It's a myth.
I didn't read any of that.
believes it. That's enough for me. Lara,
Yes?
I am Koryanka.
Hello.
Unuratu has spoken very highly of you.
Yeah, I'm sick.
I was the one who opened the way to the old barracks when Etzli was captured.
Alright, big head.
You played a part in that as well.
I played a part in it,
We
did
are
I?
sisters of the
Motherfucker.
same cause.
Ah, I see. Your tattoo, are you...
One of the shorn ones, yes. But that was another life.
I like the earrings with the
Before
spikes.
Amaru.
Like if someone tries to
When we
jump on me
surfaced
and
the
like a
walls,
vampire,
he
there's already
dissolved my
descent
order in
zombies, so
favor
if a
of his
vampire
quest.
tries to jump on my neck,
I am all that is left.
easy.
But I swore an oath. Never take a step backwards in battle. So now I wear the colors of the
What if
rebellion.
You're
I am
facing a
duty bound
cliff.
to Queen Unuratu.
Well, the reputation of the Shorn Ones is well known to be. Historically speaking, it's an honor.
You're too kind.
Thanks.
I heard you speak of Emperor Sinchichika.
Yes, the first emperor of Paititi. He is Unuratu's ancestor. He made
Yeah,
this
but what if
age
there's like a
everything we see,
million
touch,
ants,
smell,
fire ants,
everything we fight for now.
that are in front of you and you have to keep an eye on them?
I've never
they're
heard
coming
of
up
this
the cliff.
shield before.
They're like
shield of
right
the
on the edge of the
Age
cliff. So you
It
have
is
to
the
step
evidence
backwards, and
that
if you
the
turn around,
rebellion
you won't see
that
them and they'll
Unuratu
launch at
is
you.
the one to
Because
lead Paititi
red ants are
into
kind of
the
like,
next age.
what's the time,
Inscribed
Mr.
on the
Wolf?
shield is the
They can
ordination
only
ritual.
move when you're not
The
looking at them.
ritual will prove
No,
Queen
that's more like that
Unuratu
Doctor
is
Who
the next
episode.
age maker.
You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
That only
yeah.
she may create destiny, and not that false god Amaru.
And where is the shield?
Hidden, deep within the mountain,
always hidden.
beyond the path of Huracan.
The Path of Huracan.
The Path of Huracan?
It is a trial, designed to test all those who seek the shield.
Oh no, that sounds like it's
You've
going to be a
already
puzzle.
tried.
That's how she lost her hair.
That was my mission before Etzli was captured. Unfortunately, I had to divert. Since his rescue, the cult knows we're planning something, so now I must prepare our fighters, and
Cool.
the shield must wait. Only I fear that if we wait too long, Amaru may get to it first and deny Unuratu's claim.
Mm-hmm.
If Amaru gets the shield, he can unite Paititi behind whatever story he
Paititi.
chooses and proclaim himself the Age Maker. He'll remake the world as he sees fit.
Yes,
Yes,
That can't happen.
that can happen.
I was hoping you would say that.
That's my friend over there with Uchu.
Can
His
he have a
name's
cool
Jonah.
costume too,
I'll
please?
contact him if I find anything.
I'll stay close to him. Thank you, Lara.
Thank you for this weird but cool costume. Right, so I'm guessing I don't say shit to Jonah and I just get gone, yeah? Grab some wood. Always good to take some wood with you when you're going out. Don't worry about fires. Mainly harmless. See? Ran right into him. We're already probably up the stairs, nice. And we're free. Terrible place for a secret lair too, right? How are you going to get equipment in and out? Gonna want some security cameras and TVs, like, and I suppose flat screens would fit through there quite easily, but what about chairs? You want a nice little cottage? Never gonna happen. Never get a fridge in there. Look at that. You can't get like flat pack fridges from IKEA. It's not a thing. Just gonna steal a load of fruit before we leave, I think. I mean, she steals ancient relics. She might as well be a scrumper too. Perfect.
May they all.
What happened to you, mate? Dumb shit. Hey, let me in. I've got a really cool costume. Thanks. Doing a terrible cleaning job, buddy. Are you alright? Oh shit, I wanted to talk to him. Could they not open the door for me more? Well, these people got fucked up.
All these fallen soldiers.
Yeah, they got fucked up.
Rebels than cultists.
Oh, your costume's cool too, buddy. We're gonna have a great party. Is this like the ancient Power Rangers? I'm the green Power Ranger, he's the black Power Ranger. These are like the putty men, I guess. Are they called putty men? The little grey dudes? I need a reinforced knife. Excuse me, could I have a reinforced... No, excuse me. Excuse me, could I have a reinforced knife, please? Just, okay, move out the way then. You're all auditioning for the Black Power Ranger. I didn't even have to audition, I just got given a job. It's a pretty drab place, if I'm being honest. Doesn't really inspire me to do my best work. Really dark. Really shitty windows in there. Oh, I'm now allowed to run? I just wasn't allowed to run through the corpse maze. Oh. Huh. Are we the good guys? Or... I don't really feel like we're the good guys right now. How you doing? They're gonna murder all these people? I thought these people were on our side. Hey. Alright, sweet. Have a little sit down.
I should have done something. Now Unuratu is captured. And the other rebels, they'll make an example of them.
Yeah, more than likely.
God, what a mess.
What a mess indeed. This doesn't give us any benefits. Wow, how rude. I have to stay in this one though, that's fair, but it did say something like, I swear there was like an exclamation mark, and this it was to show that. Alright. Do I have to kill this dude? I might as well, right? Oh, wait, let me.
Lara, your serpent guard disguise is good.
Thanks.
I discovered the passphrase for the prison where they're holding my mother.
Yeah?
Innocent eyes will blink at dawn, when weakness falls away.
Understood. We'll get her out, Etzli.
There's one more thing.
Door passes shouldn't be that long.
Khan has been captured. He's my friend Kiara's dad. If
don't give a
he's
shit.
sacrificed,
I'll see what I can do.
Well, you'll be what? Your friend will be sad, but Jesus, kid, get over it. You'll have your mum. Yeah, your mum. Excuse me, lads. Just gotta talk to some prick.
You there, girl! Get away from that door! Your rebel father will die for his actions.
Oh shit.
That
Well,
must
maybe
be
he should.
Kiara, the girl Etzli mentioned, which means her Khan is in that cell. I've got to find a way to get him out.
Alright, well, why not just kill everybody? You alright, mate? I'm a guard.
It's too heavy. I'll need to find some help.
Excuse me, could you help me break this prisoner out?
It's too heavy. I'll need to find some help.
Hey, bird. Hey, bird. Bird. Do you wanna... Bird, do you wanna help me? Birdie? No? Hey, nice hat.
Forgive me, Ahau.
But are you not concerned?
Concerned? About what?
Kukulkan has been collecting so many people for sacrifice lately. And not just rebels that well, forgive me.
Hey, nerd.
I'm sorry, Ahau. Please don't hurt me. I only wanted to say goodbye to my father.
I'm not gonna hurt you, Kiara. I'm with the rebellion.
How do you know my name?
Your friend Etzli told me I should help you.
He did?
Yes. So
Probably.
why don't you
Can't
tell
really
me
remember
what's
many of the
happened?
characters.
My father blames Kukulkan for Mother's death.
Should do.
I told him that nothing would bring her back, but he didn't
Don't know.
listen.
Pet cemetery.
He
If
tried
you
to
buried
kill
him on
Kukulkan
an ancient
and now
burial
he's
ground,
going to die and I
good
will
chance.
be left all alone.
Can't promise
Hey,
that she won't be left alone though.
It'll be
I mean,
okay, little one.
She's a bit of a
Maybe I
whiner.
can help.
Really? There are other rebels here in the square. They want to help as well, but they're too scared. Maybe you can convince them.
Oh, tell me. Okay, tell me
I'll
who
do
the rebels
whatever I
are.
can, Kiara.
I'll tell all the guards. I could
promise
get
you,
promotion
I
here.
won't let them take your father from you.
Thank you, Ahau.
I'm totally gonna let them take the father. I'm gonna get him executed, but I'm gonna probably get her executed too. No offense to her, but you know. Alright,
Don't
mate.
be alarmed. I'm a friend of Unaratu's. I'm trying to free the prisoner, and I need your help.
And I need your wood.
Of course, but those guards will kill us if we get too close.
I don't
with
care.
them first, then I will do what you need.
Deal with them. It's dangerous. Alright, oh, just gonna take your stuff, thanks. Are you a
I
rebel?
want to free the prisoner, but I can't do it alone.
You must be the Ishiki Unuratu spoke of.
Uh-huh.
If you can make it safe, I will help open the door.
Okay, right, well, can one of you help murder, please?
Blessings, Ahau. Are you enjoying the executions?
Yeah, great.
The executions? Of course, but I need you to stop the prayers for now.
Alright.
Paititi was built on the bones of death.
But remain
I
alert
do
all the
not
same.
wish for them to come back and claim the city.
Get my way.
Would you play your instruments for an envoy of the gods?
We would be honored, Ahau.
Go on, get on with it then.
Maybe these rebels will give up after they... It is sad that a little girl will be orphaned today. But maybe this execution
Better make sure
will
everyone
send
stays
the
in
right message.
Wait.
Okay, the guards are gone.
Then we must move, now.
This won't work. Both levers need to be held open
Let's
if I'm
see if
gonna
I'm
get
ready.
inside.
Oh, it's down
I
there.
need someone else. It's safe now. Help me open the door.
Come on.
Yes.
Hurry up.
We must move.
Do you find to get any better, quick results if you open a game in Steam via desktop icon or taskbar? I think lots of people do it differently. I personally like to just bang all the games I got on my desktop. I know some people hate doing that, but I like to just remember what's installed more than anything. Yeah, I just put the yeah. I don't think it makes any difference
I'm a
really.
friend.
Some games you can go into their like
Look like you.
their way they're open to skip certain things to make them open quicker, but I don't think it really matters if you do it through the launcher, desktop, or usually still puts you through the same process.
Damn.
Kiara, go! Get someplace safe. I will find you.
Is it? What's happening now?
I'll find us a way out.
I mean, I can get through that.
You are the outsider I saw with Unuratu in the lower village.
And if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, you were told not to go after Kukulkan. Khan.
Come on, them nuts. Now, this is a
Stay
much
close.
nicer prison cell.
These are the old barracks. This way. Kiara, I am coming.
Do you want to shut up whilst we're trying to stealthily escape and then maybe not run in front of the woman dressed as a guard?
Way out is blocked.
Isn't nah.
I will not lose hope.
You should do.
If we work together, we can move this stone.
Thank you.
Just half waiting for him to like trap me in here.
Helped.
Not that. The way to what's important. To my daughter. Here, this knife. It belonged to my wife.
Oh, is this the
I was going to kill Kukulkan with it.
the better one. Yeah, reinforced knife, so I can cut through some stuff now. Nice. I mean, he's just gonna die, right? He was in a prison cell. He's not inconspicuous.
Going to see you again, Papa.
You two might want to run the fuck out now, then.
I am so sorry, my sweet child. Let me look at you. I promise I will never leave you again. Come on, let's go.
Can't say that for sure. She might be a terrible disappointment, you know? Shouldn't be lying to her. Sweet. I'm a good guy. Alright. Your petite Falbio. Is that what she said? Probably not. I don't think they're French.
Only the exalted and knowing may enter this sacred ground.
I'm annoying. I can go in.
Innocent eyes will blink at dawn when weakness falls away.
You've got a desktop folder with the game icons in. Wondering if that's okay. Habit to get into it. Should always open Steam and launch your library. Honestly, dude, I don't think it makes too many differences. I know lots of people who do it through Steam. I just have them all up on my desktop. But I also then make sure, like, if I've got loads on there, I start asking myself, right, am I going to play all of these in the near future, or should I like keep some of these uninstall some of these and clear up some space? Yeah, just do your own thing. Yeah, that's it. Whatever, basically, whatever easier for you to manage at the end of the day. Whatever you find is the best way to, like, if you think having them in a folder on your desktop that you can click into and see what games are installed, that's, yeah, go for it. It's like an extra click to get into your folder, so who cares?
How long are you going to maintain this charade of rebellion?
That sounds like Kumail Nanjiani.
Until we succeed. Amaro, remember who you are.
I am one of you.
Yeah. Is that why you had me arrested?
If my brother was alive, rest his soul.
Yeah, he will think this bickering is a waste of time.
Hey, Nyan! How are you doing, my man?
Come home.
Yeah, it's been a while. How's Ireland been? You still in Ireland? I think I saw you were in America or something. But how you doing, man? The extra clicks exercise per day. That's it. Exactly. Think of it as like that extra click. It's like your warm up for when you're about to wreck some fools.
Aren't you such a threat? Remake the world?
Isn't that the theme nowadays? You know what I'm saying?
We all create destiny together as we are.
Everything I've
Who
ever
creates
done
their fancy suits
has
though?
been for Paititi. Everything. When it was divided, I unified it. I am the only one who sees the
Oh, it was on Mahal Beach in France. Right, okay. So just like American American ground. I have no idea, yeah. I've been splendid. Cheers, dude. Plugging away, doing some games on it. Trying to get some, like, more full-time artwork, but finding it to be a bit of a challenge, but hey ho, keep plodding away.
Survive its invasion. Everything we are will be taken or destroyed.
Well, then we must fight for it together, according to the will of its people.
By restoring the sun.
By restoring it? What have you done to it?
That will only ensure Paititi's
Hey, you're back from Ireland. Ah, okay. And you've been to France now as well? Damn, dude, yeah. Feel like you've travelled enough for a while. Yeah, you've been seeing the sights.
Invasion.
And as a Belgian, you must have loved your time in France.
No, we must be bold, decisive. Act with me.
Oh shit. This is outside of the lines now. So I'm not actually sure where Omaha Beach is in France, but whereabouts did you go?
Ruled by the cult of Kukulkan.
I was due to be going a little while ago to I want to say no, it's not Montpellier. Maybe somewhere near Montpellier, near the Swiss-France border. I was meant to be going there, but there was like an issue, so we couldn't quite make it. So it's had to be rescheduled. But we'll be going. Looking forward to it. It's not going to be Paris, where I've heard it's like people are just mean.
No. I will find
Honestly, the sun's doing fine at the moment. If they're trying to restore it to like a stronger thing, that's just gonna fuck us all up, man. That'll just burn everybody. I think this angry man is actually the good guy. Went to Saint-Malo, it's near Dinan, it's the coast of France. Okay.
Take her back to herself.
Well, hopefully it was delightful. What are you up to now you're back home? Are you still like doing anything like internship-wise or internship-wise?
Never betray your people.
No, you will just fail them. box is gone.
It's gone, it's gone. Oh!
A missionary, Andres Lopez. He stole it 400 years ago. What?
That was a long time.
You just wasted your life searching in the wrong place.
Wow, dude. Really just digging in that knife, isn't he? Gutted. Well, how does he know it was taken like 400 years ago? Did he just have like a history book that no one else has? Right. I'm guessing I have to murder both of them. Okay. Hey, a box. Alright. Sounds like a sim. Get out of here. I'm learning so much intelligence. Okay, so that door looks locked. Oh, he's dropping some straight fire there. Can't wait for his mixtape to come out. Yeah. Stealing a lot of good shit.
Jonah, I know where she is. I'm going in.
Okay, we're on our way.
Everyone leaves these doors half open.
Yeah, when I was in the cenote, it was a foreshock. The earthquake is coming soon. We have to hurry.
Yeah, when we get Unuratu out, we'll all go find the box together.
It'll be lovely, I'm sure. Hey, trees. You guys are just leaving these trees as they are. It's gonna be your loss. I hope there's some Monty Python-based questions to get over. No? Oh. Well, okay, fine. I'll be off. And jump off a platform. Wouldn't this arise, like... Wouldn't this cause suspicions to arise somewhat? Oh, hello. Sorry, I was looking at the, like, dead people and children. Okay, 1, 2... Oh. Knock 3 skeletons off their poles into rivers. Huh. Seems incredibly mean, but cool.
Shit, it's breaking.
Of course it is, Lara. You're jumping on it with reckless endangerments.
That was close.
Alright, maybe I'm not going to go that way. Maybe I'm going to rappel down. Alright. Oh, hello. 3 berries. Not going to turn that down. Oh, shit! It's just wearing a mask. Come on. What? Well. Okay then. Don't worry, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything, don't worry about it, guys. Go back to your job. I'm a guard. Hey, well, oh, these aren't even berries, but I'll take them. Oh no, Unarato? Lovely Jabalay. Hey, eggs. This is a very pretty game, by the way. I feel like I should probably mention that more every 5 minutes. So it's this little crypt, is it? Oh. I'll take some of that, thanks. Whee! So I'm going to be going back there, but this is just some crypt I found.
The bottom.
That's right.
Hope there is a bottom.
Everybody has a bottom, Lara. What is happening to you, though? Hey, baby! How you doing today, my man? Okay. Tuck and roll. Nice. Guess I'll just keep running down.
This cavern must have been carved by an underground river.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't, but I wanted Lara to be impressed. Oh, I should be able to... Oh yeah, yeah, sweet. I was hoping I could just stab this one up. Also, this is a crypt. Water crypts, that's just like next level gross, right? I'm not even finding any cool shit down here. Who has a whole crypt and no, like, treasure? Skulls. Oh.
Some kind of carving up there.
Right. Do you want me to try and shoot it? Kind of rough prescriptions lapse, but you've got a doctor's appointment in a few hours. Oh damn, dude. Hopefully the doctor's appointment goes like smooth and quick. Yeah, there's nothing worse than like running out of medication and the new one's not in yet. Yeah, hopefully the roughness is soon to be over. Want me to repel now? Okay. Sweet.
There must be something behind this.
Hopefully there's not. Oh. Nope, I just
That's not good.
decided to drown the whole world. Back away, not today, disco Lara. Oh, yeah, keep going, you're gonna die. So I get all the free shit we can before the...
Impossible.
How can I not carry gold? I spent a load. I think my attention span right now is about 45 seconds. That's pretty much mine all the time. So I'll try and say something new and interesting every 45 seconds. Hey, a new vest. See my vest, made from real gorilla chest.
I don't have enough space for that.
You have enough space for gold, then what you doing with your life? I gotta swim now. Easy does it. Oh shit. Hey, oxygen. This stuff looks really heavy to swim in too, you know? Probably be a right pain in the butt. Oh. Oh, motherfucker, where do I go? Oh, it's through here, right? Okay, nice. So I went through an entire crypt to get a vest. They sell those in shops. Somebody back there somewhere, okay. Whoa. Yeah, another one, nice. Pretty demeaning of beautiful flowers wear such a sexually suggestive helmet. She loves it. Oh. Can't kill ourselves. Not that we want to, but... Whoa! Whoa! But... That's where I was meant to jump. Motherfuckers. Okay. So strong. Something in her arms are strong. She definitely uses some sort of archaeological performance enhancing, I don't know, brushes. Tiring,
Just
man.
cross the river, almost at the prison. There are guards everywhere.
We're heading towards the river. Get back to you when we're there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm dressed like a guard, so I don't know why I'm fretting. Oh damn. Okay, I do need to take a break soon because I need to pee and I want to put a pizza on. Don't take your mask off! Shit. Well, now everybody knows who Helmet Lady is.
The box is not in Paititi.
That superhero career is well over.
I know. I will be forced to join the Mari. Everything I fought for since Heidi's death will be lost.
I won't
Yeah.
let that happen. Come on, let's go.
But still,
We're out of time. Someone needs to find that box.
what the
If the
hell,
sun
that?
is not recharged,
Sadly,
or
it
the
wasn't
world
fused to
relay,
her face
all of us
through
will be
bone and
destroyed.
magic.
I found another clue. Maybe.
So how's her face clean after wearing that helmet through all of that? You'd be sweating buckets.
The heron and the eclipse. The same symbols were found engraved on the altar where the box was taken. What do the symbols mean?
They mean get wrecked, noob.
This one shows my destiny. The crimson fire
So
attraction.
get.
And this one grounds my past.
Wrecked.
It symbolizes Chinchichica, the last true emperor of Paititi.
And she is the noob.
His tomb is in the upper district.
Can you take
Tomb? I genuinely have no idea who could even potentially help raid some sort of tomb, though. You know, like
Anything there, they would no doubt have found it.
plus
already.
Jacob, if he knows any
Clue. He doesn't know what to look for.
or Jonah even what his if he knows any tomb raiders of sorts. But where are we gonna find that? In a game called Laurel Croft and Friends.
He's going to be crawling with guards.
Yeah.
We'll find our way around them.
We'll give her the hat, and then we'll look like half a guard each, which is
dangerous.
good enough. We'll full 50% of them. And if it's the popular 50%, the others would just sort of go along with it anyway.
How is Edsley?
Safe. He helped me find you. He should be with Uchu now.
The best thing about this suit is it's completely fireproof. You looks like there's no proof, like any clothing on the knees or anything, but it's actually just like some really cool leggings. But yeah, completely fireproof. Pretty cool, right? Right, well, I quite like it in here, so we're gonna save it in here for a moment. Right, and how long does it save? 33%. Okay.